I see that Meech Home concert got the streets talking. The biggest Meech Home, the streets back. That's what I'm talking about. That's how real niggas come home and get it down.
Yes, Charleston White is correct. I'm a rapper, not a dealer. Be sure to catch my new show, 50 Cent, 50 Ways to Catch a Killer.
50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better. I will buy your masters.
I wasn't gonna address this because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before dishonor, always with me.
50 Cent just went in on Big Meech, straight clowning him after fresh reports claim Rick Ross scammed him out of a $120 million deal. Ross had supposedly promised movies, documentaries, and all kinds of flashy projects. But what did Meech actually get? Nothing. Now, instead of a major comeback, Meech is being dragged online while 50 flips his name into the punchline of the week. The drama has gotten so wild that fans are already speculating the only way this ends is with Meech trying to step in a boxing ring with 50. That's how messy it's gotten. But before we get to that level of chaos, let's rewind and break down where it all started. When Big Meech left the streets behind, the streets thought he was gearing up for a powerful return. Movie deals, legacy projects, real money moves. That's when Rick Ross slid in, selling Meech a dream. Ross came out bragging about a $120 million film project and major collaborations that were supposed to put Meech's name back in lights. Here's the kicker, though. He said all of this publicly, loud and proud, like the deals were already locked in.
Yeah, so look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie, F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino. There's a lot of legends. This is gonna be big, I can feel it.
On paper, it looked like Meech was finally about to capitalize on his legendary status, but fast forward, Ross delivered absolutely nothing. Instead, it looks like he only used Meech's name as a shiny prop to flex on his longtime rival, 50 Cent. While Ross was dangling empty promises, it was actually 50 who put down real money. He bankrolled the BMF show, he paid for Lil Meech's acting lessons, and he gave Meech's story an actual platform. Ross, just empty talk, free PR, and a borrowed spotlight. And 50 didn't have to gas himself up either. His own people vouched for it. Tony Yayo himself broke it all down, making sure everyone knew who was really holding it down and who was just running their mouth. Now the new reports say Meech is heated, frustrated, and broke, realizing that Ross only linked up with him as a pawn in his never-ending feud with 50. That's embarrassing. Instead of elevating his brand, Meech is caught looking like a side piece in a beef that had nothing to do with him in the first place. And if that wasn't messy enough, things spiraled even more once Meech's son got thrown into the mix. Lil Meech was spotted at a club with Ross just days after leaked texts surfaced where he was allegedly saying, F Ross. So what's the truth? 1 minute he's talking down on him, the next he's popping bottles right next to him in the VIP. The whole situation has fans scratching their heads like, make it make sense. The video of Lil Meech and Rick Ross at the club didn't just make rounds, it blew up everywhere. Clips of them standing shoulder to shoulder, whispering in each other's ear like old friends, posing for pics and cheesing hard while the whole room glowed red, started flooding timelines. Fans couldn't believe it. Just days earlier, leaked text had him supposedly blasting Ross, and now here he was looking cozy in the VIP section. The hypocrisy had everybody talking, and of course, 50 Cent didn't waste a second. He jumped online and pulled one straight from his savage troll playbook. He joked that Ross asked Lil Meech for his dad's address so he could send over some wings from Wingstop. Imagine having your family drama reduced to a fast food punchline. That's pure humiliation, and only 50 could flip it that cold. But here's the thing, that Wingstop joke was way more than just shade. It was a warning shot. 50 was basically saying, Ross ain't feeding y'all nothing but scraps. And if you thought that was harsh, it got way nastier when 50 started spilling behind the scenes tea about Lil Meech himself. Out of nowhere, he dropped and later deleted a post claiming he personally had to send Lil Meech to rehab. According to 50, Meech was showing up to set completely lit, so gone that he even threw up during a weapons test. That's when production found whippets in his truck. 50 said he didn't even know what whippets were. He literally had to Google it and painted the whole picture as him stepping in like a mentor, trying to protect Lil Meech from himself. Meanwhile, he threw shade at Big Meech, saying his dad was out here co-signing the same reckless behavior instead of stopping it, and the receipts didn't stop there. Let's not forget Lil Meech even got himself arrested at an airport, proving he was on a self-destructive path.
Okay, you understand that?
Can I call my mom or somebody, please?
We'll do that after.
Okay.
All right, just turn around for me, be cooperative. Everything's video and audio surveillance. Plus, I'm on body cam. You understand that? Okay.
With 50 blasting all of this out in public, fans started to question, did 50 actually save Lil Meech's career from collapsing before it even took off? And if that's true, why would Meech be running back to Ross now? That's when things hit a whole new level of messy. Michael Rainey Jr., you know him as Tariq from Power, went live and somebody in the comments asked if he felt bad for Lil Meech. Instead of dodging, he went straight savage mode with his response, making it crystal clear he wasn't showing sympathy.
Do I feel bad for Lil Meech? I don't feel bad for no grown man on this planet. Like, I'm a grown man. Why the f I gotta feel bad for another grown man? Like, you a grown man too. What you asking for my sympathy for? You be alright. Oh,
That live clip spread like wildfire, and guess who reposted it with a big laugh? Yep, 50 Cent himself. He doubled down on Rainey's words, echoing the disrespect in his caption, basically stamping the Meech is weak narrative. The timing couldn't have been worse, because now it looked like Lil Meech wasn't just beefing with 50, he was losing respect from everybody inside 50's circle too. The truth is, this tension between 50 and Big Meech had been bubbling long before the Ross Club video. It really started cracking during Meech's failed Welcome Back concert. When Meech came home, the streets expected fireworks. A massive celebration, stacked with rappers, full of legends, the type of event that would remind everybody why Meech's name still carried weight. But instead of standing shoulder to shoulder with 50, the man who turned his story into a TV empire with BMF, Meech leaned on Rick Ross to help bring it all to life. Check out this clip of them pushing the event, hyping it up like it was about to be the most legendary homecoming ever.
February 13th. The Big Meech benefit concert. It's gonna be iconic. Too many names to list, but let me salute some of the legends. Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose. Now, this the first time it's ever been done. Me performing BMF with the icon himself. This shit gonna be special.
Epic.
Get your tickets right now.
I'm back.
Fans thought this was going to be history in the making, but instead, that move blew up in Meech's face. The concert never even happened, and for 50, that was the last straw. He took it as the ultimate betrayal. After all, he had poured millions into making Meech's name global again, only to get iced out in favor of Ross. 50 didn't just stay quiet either. He accused Meech of cutting deals with the feds and started tearing him apart online. Suddenly, the man once praised as a street legend was being questioned from every angle, and the streets didn't like what they were hearing. And teaming up with Ross made it look worse. It wasn't just a failed concert, it was like Meech had traded loyalty for clout. 50 ran with that narrative, hammering it into the public with his non-stop posts, turning doubt into fact. In the eyes of fans, what was supposed to be a powerful comeback moment became the very event where people started turning on Meech. That's when Meech decided he wasn't staying silent anymore. He clapped back by posting an old picture of him and 50 together. But this time, he slapped a giant rat emoji over 50's face. No confusion, no hidden meaning. Meech was straight up calling him a snitch. And he doubled down by calling 50 an internet gangster, basically saying all 50 does is hide behind his phone and troll instead of handling things face to face. Ross, of course, couldn't resist jumping in. He piled on clowning 50 for being mad at their link up and framing it like 50 was jealous. Fans started calling it a tag team, Ross and Meech versus 50, designed just to poke the bear harder. Here's the clip where Ross outright mocks 50 for losing his cool about Meech standing next to him. But here's the irony everyone pointed out. While Ross was just offering photo ops and empty promises, it was 50 who gave Lil Meech real opportunities in Hollywood. Yet Meech seemed more willing to ride with Ross, and that left fans scratching their heads. Was this loyalty, or was Meech just chasing whoever gave him the most shine? That confusion only pushed the next wild rumor that Meech actually wanted to fight 50. After the rat post and Ross's trolling, blogs exploded with headlines about a potential boxing match. Some fans thought it was hilarious, others thought it was sad. Meech reduced to a celebrity boxing storyline just to prove he still had respect. But what really fueled it? Meech himself. When asked in an interview if he'd ever swing back, he didn't shut it down. He hinted that he'd lace up gloves if it came down to it. Even if it was half a joke, the internet ran with it instantly. And once those boxing match whispers hit the blogs, the story spread like wildfire. Suddenly, the streets weren't just talking about Meech's comeback. They were betting on whether he could throw hands with 50 Cent. Just as the boxing chatter was catching fire and fans were debating who would win in the ring, Wack 100 jumped in, and when Wack talks, you already know it's about to get messy. He didn't just pour gas on the fire, he flipped the whole narrative upside down. According to Wack, this drama isn't just about loyalty or Rick Ross, it runs way deeper. He claimed that Big Meech's own confidant, Tammy Cowan, once whispered to 50 Cent that Meech had been conspiring with federal authorities in other street cases. That's heavy. Wack was basically hinting that Meech might not have been as loyal to the streets as everybody believed. And suddenly, the snitch narrative 50 kept pushing didn't sound like pure trolling anymore. It looked like it had roots in something darker. But Wack didn't stop there. He threw more shade, saying Tammy herself may have had motives to flip the script on Meech. Maybe she felt abandoned when Meech went down and left her hanging, or maybe she was just fed up with him trying to claw back the life rights he had already negotiated with 50 for the BMF series. Either way, Wack made it sound like the very person closest to Meech had been secretly feeding 50 ammo the whole time. Imagine your own confidant turning you into a storyline. Here's how Wack framed it. He didn't come out with a clean receipt, but he spoke just cryptic enough to make people think twice. When you play both sides, don't be surprised when your secrets get exposed. And whether Wack was exposing real truth or just stirring the pot for clicks, one thing became crystal clear. It gave 50 even more reason to keep the heat coming. Fans ran wild with it. The memes started rolling again. The jokes got louder, and suddenly, Big Meech wasn't just battling 50's troll game, he was fighting whispers of betrayal from inside his own circle. And then came one of the most talked about moments, Meech stepping out rocking Kanye West's graduation jacket. At first glance, it looked like just another flex fit, but social media caught the symbolism instantly. That's the same album that crushed 50 back in their infamous 2007 sales battle, when Kanye outsold him and bruised his ego on a global stage. Fans immediately connected the dots. Some laughed it off as a coincidence. Others swore Meech wore it intentionally as a slick jab, almost like he was leaning into old wounds just to keep poking at 50. Either way, the optics were brutal. Instead of reclaiming respect, Meech came across like he was doubling down on losses, dressing up in reminders of 50's pastels while the internet clowned him even harder. What stood out the most in all this chaos wasn't what happened. It was what didn't happen. Usually, 50 Cent is the first one to roast somebody's outfit, meme a goofy pose, or repost a picture just to clown. But this time, silence. And that silence had people talking louder than any post could. Fans swore 50 was holding back on purpose, saving something explosive for later. Because if you know 50, when he skips a roast, it usually means he's loading up a heavier shot. By now, it's crystal clear this isn't just petty trolling anymore. 50 has locked in on Meech like it's personal, like an obsession he refuses to let go. Most beefs fade out after a few days of back and forth, but not this one. With Meech, every move he makes, from a club appearance to a fit he puts on, gets a response. People are split on why 50's going so hard. Some say it's pure betrayal. After all, he put Lil Meech on, gave him the BMF show, boosted his acting career only to watch him cozy up to Ross. Others say it's about power. 50 doesn't just want to win, he wants to crush anybody who dares to cross him. For 50, letting Meech slide would make him look weak, and that's one thing he'll never allow. And that's why the rumors about a boxing match won't die down. If this feud ever leaves Instagram and actually moves into the ring, it won't just be about entertainment, it'll be about legacy. One man trying to protect his empire, the other being mocked like a pawn in someone else's game. The way things are heating up, it doesn't look like just a rumor anymore. It feels like the next move waiting to happen. But what do you think? Is Big Meech digging himself deeper by standing next to Ross? Or is 50 just obsessed with tearing him down no matter what? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Whose side are you really on? Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next wild update. Trust me, the way this drama is unfolding, you're gonna want to see what happens next. See you in the next one.